Today we will conduct a virtual tour of sites, places, and localities which actively influence the cultural imagination of elite and common Romans, and which contribute to understanding of the Roman world and of Roman culture today. We will conduct a virtual tour into the private estates of royalty, along with visiting civic centers of entertainment and worship for the Roman people. We will conduct a tour of Herculaneum as a lost treasure of the Roman world, along with visiting legendary localities such as the Temple Vista. We will explore also estates such as the Forum Romanum, the Pantheon, and the Amphitheatrum Flavi, as places which greatly informed the public life of Rome and which now provide us with a look into Rome's past. Our first stop is the Forum Romanum, or notably the Roman Forum. The Roman Forum was the center of Roman life, and it combined all the aspects of social, religious, economic, and political activities of Rome into one area. The Forum was located in the valley between the Palatine, Capitoline, and Esquiline hills, and it was originally marshland until sewer systems were constructed to drain the marsh. During the course of its history, the Forum was used as a site for processions of military triumph, court cases, elections, and other public business. In the time of the Roman Empire, the Forum held temples for Rome's deities and heroes, along with holding basilicas for gatherings and court hearings. The Forum also held the Comitium, where citizens met to elect magistrates, along with the Curia, where Senate meetings were held. During the Dark Ages, the Forum was looted and partially destroyed. Today, parts of the Forum still exist and remain as popular tourist attraction. Our second stop of the day is the Templum Vista, or otherwise translated as Temple of Vista. The Temple of Vista is located in the Roman Forum, at the foot of the Palatine Hill. Legend claims it was built by Numa, the pious king who succeeded Romulus. The temple was dedicated to the virgin goddess Vesta, the patron of the hearth, home, and family. Within the temple burned an eternal fire, tended by 6 priestesses who were tasked with keeping the fire burning day and night. Once a year, during the festival of Vestalia, the ashes from the fire that had accumulated throughout the year were thrown into the river Tiber. Along with this, the temple also combined many sacred artifacts, including sacred water and the Palladium, a wooden statue of Pallas Athena that was supposedly brought to Rome by Aeneas after the fall of Troy. The temple burned down several times during the time of the Roman Empire, including during the Great Fire of Rome under the reign of Nero in 64 CE. When Christianity became the dominant religion in the city around 395 CE, the temple was closed down. By the 6th century, although the temple's marble had been entirely stripped from it, a partial reconstruction was built in the 1930s. Our third stop today is the Amphitheatrum Flavi. The Amphitheatrum Flavi is today more commonly known as the Colosseum, a name which it adopted in the 12th century from the Colossus of Nero which stood nearby. The construction of the building was begun in 72 CE by the Emperor Vespasian, and it was inaugurated in 80 CE by the Emperor Titus. The Colosseum is oval-shaped, about 611 feet long and 500 feet wide. It is 185 feet high and is composed of 4 different architectural levels. The Colosseum held somewhere between 50,000 and 70,000 people, and its seating was arranged in 4 sections by social class. The arena overall hosted gladiator matches as a form of public entertainment. In the 4th century, Constantine restricted these matches, but it was not until the 5th century, under the Emperor Honorius, that the matches were fully abolished. Within subsequent centuries, the Colosseum was used as a quarry, and its materials were taken to be used in other buildings. Today, the Colosseum remains a popular tourist attraction. Our fourth stop is the Villa Hadrian, or otherwise the Villa of Hadrian. The Villa of Hadrian was constructed in Tibur, or what is present-day Tivoli. It was constructed during the 2nd and 3rd decades of the 2nd century AD by Emperor Hadrian. The estate was a complex of over 30 buildings which covered an area of at least 1 square kilometer, with many different architectural orders, styles, and innovations, from the Greeks and Egyptians notably. The villa included palaces, thermae, temples, libraries, staterooms, and various quarters for servants and slaves and messengers. Hadrian used the villa as a retreat from Rome since he was purported to have disliked the royal palace on the Palatine Hill. During the later years of his reign, Hadrian governed Rome from this villa. The estate was used by various successors to Hadrian, but it fell into disuse and faced its ruin during the decline of the Roman Empire. Our fifth stop is the Pantheon. The Pantheon was commissioned between 27 BC and 14 AD by Marcus Agrippa during the reign of Augustus, and it was renovated by Emperor Hadrian in 126 AD. The temple derives its name from the Greek word delineating a temple which was common to all the gods, and it was constructed as a complex of 3 buildings in combination with the Baths of Agrippa and the Basilica Neptune. The building is a circular structure with a portico of large granite Corinthian columns, 8 in the first rank with 2 groups of 4 behind, under a pediment. It has a rectangular vestibule which links its porch to a rotunda located under a coffered concrete dome with a circular opening or an oculus to the sky. Almost 2,000 years following its construction, the temple remains as the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome. And our 6th and final stop of the day is Herculaneum. According to legend, Hercules established the ancient city of Herculaneum following his return from Iberia. But more realistically, the city was probably established by the Greeks sometime in the 4th century BC. Geographically, the city is located below the present-day coast of the Gulf of Naples, on the western side of Mount Vesuvius. The city was a twin to Pompeii, and in 79 AD, it suffered from the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, along with Pompeii. In the eruption, Herculaneum's 4,000 to 5,000 citizens were smothered by nearly 60 feet of volcanic mud, ash, and debris. Following this catastrophic event, the city was not uncovered until the 18th century. In an interesting occurrence, the volcanic ash which smothered the city combined with the humidity of the region's environment preserved Herculaneum by carbonizing it. Unlike the complete destruction of Pompeii, everything in Herculaneum was not charred, and the city provides an excellent window into Rome's past and into the Roman life during its time. This concludes our tour of the sites, places, and localities of the Roman world, which inform our understanding of the private and public centers, estates, and treasures of Rome, as well as the royal and common Roman people. Join us next week as we examine the religious life, deities, and other things of Rome